Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we will be looking at another modification of the popular Tunisian Basketweave Stitch. So we will be using Tunisian Simple and Tunisian Reverse Stitch stitches to create this beautiful texture. So without further ado, this stitch pattern is worked over multiple of 5 stitches and needs a repetition of 8 rows. But in fact you will be only repeating 2 rows and you will see what I mean in a moment. So we will start with a slip knot. Place the loop on the hook and chain a multiple of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I will do one more repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the first row we will work the Tunisian foundation row. So we will turn our chains around and we will work into the back bump of the chains, yarn over and pull up a loop. And we will repeat this for every chain that we made. So this is also known as the forward pass. As you know, Tunisian crochet is worked in 2 steps, which is forward and return pass. So adding stitches on your hook is forward pass, and then we will work them off on return pass. And this would constitute a 1 row. So forward and return pass make 1 row. I'm almost at the end. So I just need to double check my stitch count. 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. Okay, we will then yarn over and pull through 1. This is also known as a chain 1. Then yarn over, pull through 2, all the way to the end. So we are now working the return pass, where we work the stitches off the hook, and we will end up with 1 loop on the hook, which is the first stitch of the following row. Okay, so this was the Tunisian foundation. Now with the row number 2, we will start our row pattern repeat. So as you can see on my swatch, we will work we will have 5 stitches of one kind, followed by 5 stitches of the other kind. So in this tutorial we are alternating Tunisian simple and Tunisian reverse stitches. So we do that in the body of the work, and on the edges we will work 4 stitches and 4 stitches before the end stitches or the edge stitches. So I'm going to show you what I mean. If we add 5 stitches plus the edge stitches, this would look unbalanced on the edges. That's why we are starting with 4. So we already have 1 loop on the hook, so this can count as the first stitch, and that's the right side edge stitch. So we will then work 4 Tunisian simple stitches. So for Tunisian simple stitch, you will insert the hook from right to left under the front vertical bar, yarn over and pull up a loop. And we will repeat this 3 more times. 4 and 5. So we've got 5 loops on the hook, which are the first part of the repeat. We will then work Tunisian reverse stitch. So for Tunisian reverse stitch, we will work into the back vertical bar. So we need to turn our work, locate the back vertical bar. We will insert the hook from right to left under the bar, yarn over and pull up a loop. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, I'm now on my last 5 stitches, but if you chained more than 15, for example 20, 25, and so on, you will then go on to work 5 Tunisian simple stitches, followed by 5 Tunisian reverse stitches, and so on until you get to the end, and up to the last 5 stitches. So 4 of these will be whatever stitch is following your stitch pattern repeat. So for me that's Tunisian simple stitch, but it can also be Tunisian reverse stitch. Okay, so I'm going to work 4 Tunisian simple stitches, 3 and 4, and then for the very last stitch we are going to do something slightly different. We will work what is also known as end stitch. So we will turn the work this way or towards yourself, and there you will see 2 bars or 2 strands of yarn, one on the right, one on the left, and we will work the very last stitch under both of these. So you will need to go and insert the hook under both of these bars, yarn over and pull up a loop. Okay, and that's the forward pass of row number 2. We are continuing with standard return pass, which is yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's exactly the same as we worked for the foundation row, and in fact you will repeat the standard return pass for every row of this stitch pattern, so that it wouldn't change. Its standard return pass all the way. Now continuing with our row pattern repeat, we will work a row number 3, which is repetition of row number 2, and in fact you will repeat this row 3 more times. So in total you will have 4 rows of working 5 Tunisian simple stitches, followed by 5 Tunisian reverse stitches, all the way up to the end of the row, up to the last 5 stitches, and you will then work 4 stitches in the stitch that is following and work the end stitch. So I'm going to work on these 3 more rows, and I will meet you back on the row number 6, where we are going to swap the stitches. Welcome back. So far we worked the Tunisian foundation row, and then we worked rows number 2, 3, 4, and 5 in stitch pattern. So we started with Tunisian simple, followed by Tunisian reverse, Tunisian simple, and you will continue like that for the multiple that you started with. So now we are going to work the stitches in the other way around. So where we had Tunisian simple stitches, we will work Tunisian reverse, and where we had Tunisian reverse, we will work Tunisian simple stitches, and this will create this beautiful basket weave stitch pattern. So as before, we started with Tunisian simple, so there you will work Tunisian reverse. At the beginning of the row you will only work 4 of these to make up the count to 5, plus the first stitch works to be 5, then 5 Tunisian simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we've got Tunisian simple stitches, so we work Tunisian reverse into this, and because I'm on my last repeat, I will work 4 Tunisian reverse stitches and an end stitch. If you've got more than multiple of 5 to 15, as I started with 15, you will continue working your stitch pattern of 5 Tunisian simple followed by 5 Tunisian reverse, and so on. Or when we started with reverse, it'd be 5 Tunisian reverse, Tunisian simple, reverse, and so on up to the end of your row. And as before, we work standard return pass. Okay, so this was row number 6. If you are not sure how to count your rows, you can count the side chains and you will know exactly where you are in the stitch pattern. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 completed rows. You will repeat row number 6 for row number 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so the basic stitch pattern and row pattern repeat is multiple of 5 and then multiple of 4 rows of one stitch followed by 4 rows of another. So 4 and 4 is 8. So you will need to work multiple of 8 rows. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to work my row number 7, 8, and 9, and then I will meet you back to show you how to bind off. So I worked few more rows to finish the row pattern repeat. So and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we will now bind off the project. So you've got 2 options. You can work Tunisian simple stitch bind off, where you insert the hook into the next stitch as if for Tunisian simple stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull through the loop on the hook, and you would repeat this all the way to the end stitch. So I'm going to bind off few stitches like this in the Tunisian simple stitch bind off. Okay, so as you can see, it creates as if Tunisian simple stitch on the last row, and the top looks really nice and neat, as if you had the chains on top which matches the bottom edge. The second option is to work a stitch pattern repeat or the stitch pattern bind off, where you continue working your stitch pattern and at the same time you will be binding off the stitches. So what it looks like is this. So on next 2 stitches we worked Tunisian simple stitch, so we would continue with Tunisian simple stitch bind off, and then there are Tunisian reverse stitches, so we will work Tunisian reverse stitch and bind off at the same time. While the first option is much easier and it's just really suitable for beginners when you're just starting to get the grasp of the stitches and how this technique works. If you would like to maintain and continue with your stitch pattern repeat, because the Tunisian simple stitch bind off kind of breaks up the stitch pattern and it adds a row of Tunisian simple stitches at the top. And if you work in Tunisian simple stitch, that's fine. However, if you are using different stitches, it can kind of visually break up the pattern, while Tunisian stitch pattern bind off maintains the stitch pattern that you created on in your project, or that you were worked your project in. So it kind of visually more appealing, but whichever method you choose, it's the right one for you. You can start your first project, you can bind off your first project with Tunisian simple stitch bind off and then experiment as to what you like more. That's it. You would then cut your yarn, pull it through, and that's it. That's your project finished. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you find this tutorial useful. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you would use this stitch for. I think it would be perfect for blankets and scarves. As always, please share this video with your friends, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.